You want to say hi? Y'all want to say hi to the people on Facebook? All right. All right. It's all good. Yeah, it's no problem. Everything is good, brother. Everything is A1, fam. You know how I do though. I be having a busy day, but I said I'm gonna always come home and talk to the people because I got time. And before I die, at least I say I did my work, in my free time, or I just don't waste it. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But hold on. Hold on. Come on in, bro. How y'all doing? Yeah, you can sit. You can sit, man. You can sit anywhere you want. You can sit on the couch. You can sit right here at the table with me. Whatever you like, man. But thanks for coming over, brother. It's all gravy. All gravy. It's all good. Peace, family. I said I'm gonna always take time out of my day to educate because I do have time. It's 24 hours in a day. So I'm gonna always jump on here and just to have a good conversation with family and friends and YouTube and just to spread some love out of all that's going on in the world. Love trumps all. So, like I said, I'm never here to debate no one. I'm never here to arbitrarily explain nothing to anyone. Whatever you believe and how you believe, that's fine with me. I love you. But today is a good day, like Ice Cube always say, and it's always good to be in the land of the living. As always, I'm your brother, your friend, divine minister, Grand Sheik, Kari Hakeem Goodman Bey of the prestigious Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, where it's a group of brothers and sisters that know who they are, that represent our culture. And I always just here to give a little biblical history because I love all sciences and I'm glad to be an American. This is the only place. Peace, detailer, peace and love to you. Because I'm on my YouTube channel as well. I'm on all my different streaming platforms. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and then I have, oh, damn, I almost forgot. My fault. I was going to say, and I have my GCU site up, but let me pop that up. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Because I'm looking at my phone. And some of the college students like, are you live? I'm like, oh, my back. So let me log on my laptop and get on my other stream for the college students can see. So actually, I have one, two, three, four streams up. I have my personal Facebook page. I have my Instagram page, which is Moors_haberdasher. I'm on my personal YouTube. And then I have my laptop up and I have my login for all the college students at GCU. They share it with the college students in the theological department and the history department. And I always go on the college campus every Friday and lecture. And I get a lot of donations and I give out literature. So if you like the teachings, especially those that came multiple times and never gave a donation, if it's on your heart, please give a donation to my temple and school, which is Cash App $ KG Bay. And I'll send you literature. I'll send you books. I'll send my email up there so we can correspond. Because if you come here multiple times and you never give a donation, why? If you like the teachings, if you don't, I don't mind a person never coming back. It's okay. But I don't ask for much, but I give a lot. But we had a beautiful conversation today with a lot of college students because I always lecture with people and a lot of the students that I minister to. Oh, a lot of saying I always like to add people to the camera if they want to be on camera and things, or if they want to say something live. I'm gonna make sure I start sending shout outs to everyone, especially those that come back repetitively. Because if you come back multiple times, I'm sure it's something that you like. Just like if you go to the clubs and have those watered down drinks, you were paid to get in, you were paid to have those watered down drinks and all that. And we pay and we do it multiple times. So if you do like the teachings, if you like what we're saying, we don't mind, my brothers and sisters, to give a small donation to our temple and school if you like what we're saying. If you don't, then that's fine as well. I don't know if we have people that's joining us live. Please mute yourself because I can hear a lot in the background. But what I ask a lot of people, man, is we should have to wait till we in trouble to let people know what we believe in. And I'm a Moor, and that's where it stops. That means I understand my nationality, I understand my spirituality. So before I get into this supreme mathematics and this supreme hika, I want to talk about something and ask my brothers and sisters a question. Oh, it's okay, sister. Well, if you're serving, what I'll do is just, if you want me to remove you, I will remove you if you want me to, and you can just listen. If you want me to do that, it's no problem. I always like to let people, join in live or whatever they want to do, because I'm here to learn as well. And I want people inputs as well. So I got a brother that I grew up with. I'm not going to say his name because I told greetings, Victoria Youngblood. Peace and love to you, beautiful Empress. Peace and love and gratitude to you and everything about you, your spirit, everything about you. Peace and love. Peace and love to you being here, supporting the ministry, and just spreading this message. I give you honor. I give you glory. And if I had 10 empresses like you, I'd change this whole movement. I'd change this whole movement. Like my professor said, he said, if you had 10 women that was rocking with you and support you all the way, man, this movement will be so far. We have so many things going on. But a lot of our brothers and sisters, when they get in trouble, then they want my help. A lot of my brothers and sisters that be talking about they don't believe in this and they don't believe in that. As soon as they get in trouble, oh, Lord, help me doing this. But you say you don't believe in nothing. And you think everything is some white man stuff because you've been hurt and you've been crushed. Peace, Noble Malik. Peace and love, my Mufti, my Moorish Mufti brother. I know you're a little bit under the weather, so please get right. And if you're not able to lead our workout tomorrow, I'll lead it with no problem. But a lot of our brothers and sisters say that they're not religious. And I say, okay, well, are you spiritual? And they don't know nothing about it. And then as soon as they get in trouble, they want someone to pray for them, or they want this, or they mothers and fathers and grandmamas be saying, pray for my baby and do all this. I say, what do you mean? You got to wait till we in trouble to believe in something bigger than ourselves? I'm not telling you to be all religious, but I'm telling you to have reverence, to have gratitude, to understand it's a creator that created this whole earth plane. That's what I'm talking about. As soon as we get in trouble or we lose our life, the first thing these people want to do is turn either Christian or Islamic when they go to prison. But we don't have to get locked up. We don't have to have our freedom took away from us to give gratitude, to give reverence. A lot of times, I'm going to be honest, and no disrespect to none of my men, even a lot of men, a lot of times we are not ready to be husbands because we don't know our mission. Why? Because a lot of men are not spiritual. A lot of men don't understand that what their religion consists in. They don't know. So a lot of times, men, the first thing we do, we chase a woman. And then when we get in that relationship, as you start to grow in your ministry, as you start to figure out what you want to be in life, things start to fall apart. That's why I tell every man first, man, figure out who you are first. Stop listening to these jacklegs in the streets talk about you a Negro and all this. You got to understand your mission first and who you are and what you are created to be. Understand that the Creator created you, and understand that first. And a lot of times we don't, sometimes by default or just not knowing who we are, thinking a woman can make us something. And what you say, Noble Malik, you've been there. And we on you, and we on my Facebook page too. If you can join on the Facebook page as well on YouTube, because I like your responses on all the platforms for people can hear a lot of my members speak and talk about us, because we real men. Just like when I ask a lot of my brothers and sisters, please subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube page and Facebook page, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And you can hear all our different backgrounds of how we grew up and why we at the BBT and why they take me as their sheik, their Messiah, their pastor, their Sufi. Yep, and I'm also on YouTube. I mean Facebook, Malik. I'd rather you jump on Facebook because I have more people from my city on Facebook on there. But do whatever you want. But I would love for you to be on my Facebook page as well. I would love that if you have all those different platforms to do that. But a lot of times we find ourselves, how can I say, going through women because we're looking for ourselves and we're looking for righteousness in a woman. And we're not willing to sit down and seek a brotherhood and seek a man like myself. Like a lot of my European students be like, I aspire to be like you, brother. I aspire to be like you. And here it is, if people that don't look like me to aspire to have these attributes, and when I come to man, no matter if you Christian or Muslim or whatever it is, you're not willing to come and learn. You're not willing to say, wait a minute, it is something bigger than me. And so we don't waste women time and we don't waste our time. Like a lot of my background, a lot of people that know me, and as I began to be more comfortable in my spiritual walk, I started talking about my brother that was murdered by a Negro, black and color in the city of Flint. My baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman Bay, that looked just like me. I started talking about my background. I started talking about how when I was young and dumb, wanting to be a hustler and how I was set up and how a person set me up. And a lot of people are friends with that person that set me up. And right now they are in life doing everything. And if I say the person's name, people will be shocked. But I have the records that a lot of people are not right. But I give God the glory for burning me, for showing me who I am. And those trials and tribulations has made me the man that I am today. It made me a fisher of a man. That's why I tell my brothers and sisters, it's bigger than that. And when we're not spiritual as men, it's a piece of us that's missing. But on the flip side of that, our women allow this. Look at all the women that's spiritual or go to church or believe in something higher than themselves or take the time to meditate and pray. Take the time to get in their higher self, and they'll deal with a man that's not even into nothing of the sort, and then wonder why their relationship in shambles. Because they happy going out to eat, or this person can dress nice, or he hustling, and you know this person is a drug dealer, and you know this person is a street person, and you know this person have no attributes, but then you playing with yourself. Where's the attraction? What is the attraction? Just physical? So when you in that intimate time, when you at home alone, what are y'all talking about? What book is the man reading? What is the last book that your man that you deal with, that you think is your king and all this? What makes him a king? Who is he mentoring? Or is he just partying and BSing? So when a lot of our women that say they so spiritual and they this and that and the other, look at the man that they choose to lay with and to have sex with. And then have the audacity when it don't work to say there's no good men. No, you didn't choose a king. You didn't choose a righteous king. You chose a penis per se. And I'm not disrespecting no one. We all been there because a lot of us met our women or our men in our lower selves. And if you met your man or your woman in your lower self, as you begin to grow, are you able to bring them up with you? Or are they okay with you being stagnant when a person say, when a woman say, or when a man say, well, you met me in the club, Or you met me, you knew I was in the streets selling dope and all this. You met me, you there, and you are a woman that's doing your thing, that's being righteous. That talks about us. Because when I was a child, I act like a child. I thought like a child. I dressed like a child. I spake like a child. But when I became a man, when I became a man of the Creator, I put away all childish ways. What you say, Empress, or what about I read on the regular is who I am. I love knowledge, and he gets upset because I won't give him enough time. Exactly. Empress, let me tell you something. With me, because my mission is way before a woman. I glorify the Creator first. I study, I read. My nobles know when they come to my house, all my nobles been to my house. They know my whole life is a study. My whole life is prioritized. I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock every morning. I do my meditation. I do my pray. At 3 o'clock a.m., my alarm go off. That's when I get up and I go on my deck. And that's when I get into my higher self. I meditate. At 6 in the morning, I blow my horn, my ram's horn. It's certain things that I must do regardless. If I'm out of town, if I'm in Vegas or whatever, you can see me. You'd be like, what time is it? You will see me jogging 6 in the morning. My life is set, and I'm not going to change my lifestyle because my wife or my woman don't want to do something. Why? Because I'm going to continue to do that. Why? Because that's the glory for me. Because with or without you, this is what I am. This is who I am. It can't be jealousy if this is my life, especially if you study and reading. What need to happen is that man need to study and read with you, queen. Because if you was my empress, if you was in my household, I love for your study time. I like quality time. Quality. Where it don't have to be all the time. Give me the quality time. It don't have to be all the time. Quality time. Because you should be getting to your higher self. Not quantity. Quality. Because your life should be set. You should have your time when you doing this on your own. You doing this. You mentoring your homegirls. You talking to them. You doing those things. You bringing your homegirls up. You bringing them to the storehouse. You're mentoring them. You telling them to straighten up their crown. So the women around you are on a level. You don't have to so-called dumb yourself down on a level to be around friends and family. Because when you was a child, you act like a child. We talk like a child. But we're men and women now of the Creator. We hold ourselves up to a higher standard. And what you say, Empress, I love these responses. You say, I understand it's hard on us all, but I rather work on me until God knows I'm ready. I've always been in relationships long term and that, but now I'm focused on building me and I'm loving who I am. And I give you all glory. And that's exactly what I'm saying, Empress. That's exactly what I'm saying, because most men would do what a woman says. A man will give up on their dreams for a woman. A man will get married and say all this, but you have dreams and aspirations. So if you're not built up in a Creator to fulfill all those dreams and aspirations, and if you don't have that right Empress that agree like you agree, that understand the Creator is first, and how can I love you proper if I don't love the Creator that created you, and I don't love everything about you, and I don't figure out how to get inside of you without physically getting inside of you, I haven't done my job. See, my whole purpose before I even deal with a woman, I'm going to get inside of you without even getting inside of you. I don't need to have physical sex with you. And this is what I tell all women. Why? Because you're going to dig me. I'm going to minister to your soul. And you're going to turn to putty in my hand because you're going to love everything about me. You're going to love the way I talk. You're going to love the way I dress. You're going to love the way I brush my teeth. You're going to love the way I honor you. You're going to love the way that I tend to you. You're going to love the way I love seeing you in a high stature. You're going to love all those things about me. That's what I tell a lot of people, even when I deal with a lot of different nationalities and a lot of different women. And this is what they say. Like my empress will tell you, I used to be on YouTube a lot, and I used to deal with a lot of women that, hearts was hurt. And they used to ask my wife, do you think your wife will allow you to have multiple wives and sister wives? I said, I don't think so. I never even asked that. I never asked that to my wife. But me and my wife do have these conversations, and she said, "I know you can have multiple women, honey." And my wife called me sheik, minister, rabbi. She said, "I know," and I said, "Why?" Because she said, "My mama know." She said, "My mom talks about you and the type of man you are. My mama talk about the man I am. Women I meet in regular life talk about it. When I meet women, they like, man, I know your wife, this and that and the other." They was like, man, I would love to have a man like you because I carry myself to a high standard. I'm always going to be clean when you see me. I'm always going to be pressed. Why? Because I never get a second chance to make a first impression. I'm always going to show young men how to look in a certain stature, how to speak in a certain way, how to carry themselves in nobility. And so that's having that, how can I say, sexual aura, having that physical attraction is natural for a king. It's natural because in our culture, in the continent of Africa, most men, the reason why they have multiple wives is who they are. It's what they represent. Not some jackleg or some poor dude talking about, I'm a Muslim, I want to deal with polygamy. Man, no, that's not it. You have multiple wives of who you are and your seed to have children. And you have those multiple wives for y'all can be a power unit. That's what this is about. It ain't just about sex. It's about bringing people up. It's about bringing that woman in your household. And so if I can clone myself, I would. That's why I try to show my nobles how to be kings. A lot of my nobles was married before. Some of them may be divorced now, not to nothing that they done, because none of my men are cheaters. But as men grow, as men start to love other things besides just a woman, as they start to love me and I start to love them in that brotherly aura. A lot of women that just want a man and talk about, oh man, well, you complete me. Don't no woman complete me. I'm complete. The creator complete me. And when I get with you, you are an asset or you are a tool in my toolbox. But don't no woman complete me. I'm already complete. Understand that I'm already sure of my abilities. A woman don't make me sure. A woman is an asset for me. I don't need a woman to pay no bills. I don't need a woman to clean the house. I don't need a woman to cook for me. I don't need a woman to wash clothes. I don't need a woman to pay bills. Why? Because I know how to do all those things. Because my mother and my father raised me to be a king. My name exudes who I am. My name is Kari Hakeem Goodman. That's the name that they gave me at birth. My Igna and my Elbe was given to me of the man I am. But my name, Kari Hakeem Goodman, my name is King, worthy to be praised. From the womb, I've been raised to be a God. I've been raised to be an educated man. I've been raised to be a master of everything that I touch. That's who I am. And a lot of times us as men, when we're not around our friends that's built up like that, we dumb ourselves down and we kind of diminish our light. But I'm a God, I'm a king, I'm a noble, and I hold myself to standards. And that's why I say, give me 10 women. Give me 10 women, and I can show y'all what we can do. The right men with me, I can show y'all what we can do. So that's why I talk about what is the purpose of a man. The purpose of a man is to glorify God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, and to enjoy that spirit forever. So whatever you eat or drink or whatever you do it all to glorify the Creator. Do it all to glorify the Holy Spirit. I'm not here to argue with no one that's not into what I'm into. I'm not here to try to convert no one or try to make them believe in something. Because if you don't believe and understand what I'm saying, that don't do nothing to me. It shows me how crazy you are by sitting up here listening to me and by sitting up here logging into me over and over and try to get into debate with me or argument, which I'm not even going to engage. I'm just going to block you. I'm not even going to engage with my brothers and sisters arguing over things that's meaningless to me. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with Negro, blacks, and color that's talking about, oh, I don't believe in this. I don't believe. Okay, well, why are you here? That's on you. But don't get in trouble and then and your mama and your dad and your friends and your wife say, have you talked to Kari? Can you call Kari to pray for you? Or when you die, will Kari do you a eulogy? Or will you need some help? Hey man, call Kari and I say, I don't have the time. And I tell you to pray for yourself. You don't need me. Because you only want to deal with me when you're in trouble or when you need something. Worthy are you, O Creator, the Holy Spirit, to receive glory and honor and power. For you created all things. If it's a creation, it has to be a creator. And then people talk about the Big Bang Theory. Okay, well then if it's the Big Bang Theory, something had to happen. That's still a form of a creation. And by your will, they exist. And we all were created. Who? The red bird, the blue bird, your mama, my mama, your daddy, your grandma. As you keep doing the lineage down, birth happens because it's a spiritual thing. You have to understand that. The blood, the water, and fire, that's a spiritual thing. Whom have I in heaven but you? And on earth is nothing I desire besides you. When I say the scriptures and the Holy Spirit wants the same thing on earth as it is in heaven. When I say you don't have to die for glory. You don't have to die to be righteousness. When you think, oh, when I die, then I'm going to heaven. No, you're not. The scripture says you want the same thing on earth as it is in heaven. That's your so-called Lord's Prayer. You don't understand that? We are walking around in this earth plane. We are the masters and controller of everything on this earth. We have attraction. What is your attraction? Because I don't attract junk. What I do is I deal with liabilities and turn to assets. When a lot of people think they're a liability, but I show you, my brother and my sister, you an asset. You just wasting your abilities. And that's finance and everything. When I turn a liability into an asset, that's what I work with. What's the use of a doctor if no one is sick? I'm turning liabilities to assets. I'm turning mortal men into extraterrestrials, into kings, to walk erect, full of confidence. That's what I'm about. Everything else is uncivilized to me. Rejoice in the scriptures. Rejoice in the power. And I will say rejoice. And many people through life, they always ask why I'm here. What's my purpose? Go through relationships and all that. But why? Why? Because we don't take the time and say, you know what? Like Empress Victoria Youngblood said, I'm going to get into my higher self. I'm going to see why I'm here and why I'm attracting this. If I say I'm a queen, I can't be attracting no peasants, because how can I say I'm a king and I'm attracting a streetwalker today? I'm not saying I can't clean you up, but today, if I'm a king, I'm not attracting no peasants. I don't attract that. I don't attract that. It's qualifications to deal with me. Any woman that want to deal with me, you got to have some things going on, because sex is nothing. And I don't operate on a big butt and a smile. That don't mean nothing to me. Sex, if I wanted that, I go pay for it. I got a bag. I got my own money. It's more than life than that. I need women on our team to help me raise these boys, to help me raise these men, to show us that we are born in righteousness and we have things that we have to offer to the world. And if women want to deal with a God, you have to see what a God consists of and how a God carry himself. And those attributes need to wear off on that individual that you're dealing with. But we don't want to model ourselves over greatness. We want to model ourselves over gangsters and street people and all that, instead of be like, this is what you need to aspire to, young brother. This is what you need to aspire to. You see? But the scriptures tell us, the thing is, we cannot answer the question by looking at ourselves, which most of the world does, but instead looking to the Creator, looking to the Word within, the Holy Spirit that does the teaching. This is not me. Everything that comes out of me is the Holy Spirit. And if you want to know how something is supposed to work and its purpose, we know that we would ask the Creator for that thing. Ask and it will be done. Search and you will find it. And the same thing goes with you and I. We need to seek after the Creator through his word to know who we are and what we are designed for. A lot of men today, they still don't know what they're designed for. And I told you, if you a God, man, your whole essence is to glorify the Creator. Why would you think all my muftis, when y'all start off with the maroon fez and then you get the black fez, and then as I give you degrees, your tassel get longer as graduation? Because your whole essence is to give the creator reverence. Your black fez represents the womb. Your black fez represents your higher self. So as a divine Moorish minister, a noble mufti minister, our whole thing is give glory to the creator. I'm not here to debate or argue with no one. That's why a lot of men lives be in shambles, because they don't have the power when something happened to call on. They don't know how to give reverence. They don't know how to give thanks. So they don't have no power. They don't have no power. They become self-centered. And instead of being satisfied with the creator within, and that alone, we became satisfied with ourselves and other things of this world. Instead of seeking to enjoy the creator, our higher self, we seek to enjoy ourselves and the things in our life. And by saying that we glorify the creator and the Holy Spirit, we are not saying that we are to make God or the creator glorious per se, because the creator is already glorious just by the fact of what the creator consists of and how the creator created us. And we can't add anything to the worth of the creator. Peace, Noble Moso. That's another one of my divine Moorish ministers. And it's his solar return today. So peace and love to you, my noble Mufti, Moorish minister, Gregory Maso El. Peace and love to you, my brother. And peace and love to your family and everything about you. I love you. You know that. Instead, we need to glorify the creator as reflecting Yahweh's glory rather than adding to it, because we can't add nothing to that. I'll give you an analogy or an example. The world does not make Yahweh glorious, but it reflects that glory. That's in Psalms 19:1. Same with you and I. We don't make the creator. We don't make Yahweh glorious. We reflect it to others. How? When they see the God essence in us, when they see those godly attributes in you and I, how we walk, how we talk, how we give honor to our empresses. This fez we wear, one of the meanings, it represents the Asiatic woman. I'm going to get into the supreme mathematics in a second, supreme Hika. But I wanted to give a little personal testimony because I'm a divine Moorish minister as well. You got to think of it as this. Something created cannot make its creator more glorious. It can only display the glory that the creator already has. And it does this by reflecting that glory through itself. So when a person told me yesterday after I got off live, and I got one of the person that was on my live donated $50, and then I sent them a book and they looked the book on Amazon. She was like, "Sheik, that book on Amazon is $3,000. And she was like, "I can't believe this." And then she said, "I'm going to go to Office Max and Staples and have them bind it for me." But she said she downloaded on her tablet because she's a stewardess and she traveled on the planes. And she said, "Just thank you. Now I got all these books on my tablet and your people not supporting you like that. And they give you pennies off the ground." And I said, "Well, yes, that's how we are. But I'm okay with that because I'm only here for a minute." So what is best way to glorify the creator? How to glorify him? How do we show others that we love our iPads, music, video games? How do you do it? We show others how much we love those things by our enjoyment of them. And the same goes with the creator. I show my enjoyment of the creator and what I believe in and what I understand by getting up, by doing this. By no matter if I'm working from home or if I'm traveling, I still make time out of the day because I have time. I'm not just going to sit at home because I work from home and I got a lot of free time in my travels. I'm just going to sit and watch basketball or drink beer or smoke marijuana all day. No, I'm going to get on here and keep my mind sharp. I'm going to continue on here to give content. This ain't nothing that I do on the weekend, no church thing. This is something that I do 7 days a week. Why? I love my wife. Why? I keep my house clean. Why? I pay bills. Why? I be attentive to my wife. Why? I mentor college students. Why? I dedicate my time to reading to kids at the library. Why? I mentor other people in life. And I go visit other churches and synagogues in my regular life. When I'm tutoring people on the college campus. All that. And I'm a marriage counselor. All that. All that. So I'm not just going to do things on the weekends. I make time for who I am. I make time for this ministry because this is my ministry. I enjoy it. I enjoy the Creator for what it is, and we will glorify the Creator in other areas of our life as well. But the problem with a lot of us is we don't want to glorify the Creator and enjoy it. Instead, we are happy to enjoy and glorify things, money, job, clothes, drinking, smoking, fitting in the crowd, the worldly things. Yes, I'm in the world, but I don't have to be of the world. I don't have to participate in things that don't add to my life. A lot of people say my life is boring. I say I love my boring life. But you look at me, I'm getting ready to be 48 in January. I take my shirt off. I'm in more shape than a professional athlete right now. I got six packs. I'm ripped up. I run 5 to 10 miles every day. I do my circuit rate training every single day. I meditate every day. I'm in great physical health. I'm in better shape than I was in high school. Because in high school, I was doing things that I shouldn't do, like drinking and smoking all the time. But I was just young. And the glory of a young man is his strength. But the wisdom of an older man is the grays on his hair and his beard. Meaning if you got gray hair and beard, that means you should know what to do and preserve yourself. But a lot of my brothers and sisters, they don't, as they're dying at age 40 of high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetic. Because what we eat and what we drink is killing us. And then you want somebody to pray to you as you praying over that poison that you eat. In life, we will never fully glorify the Creator and the Holy Spirit or enjoy that Spirit. So every day we must seek the Creator in all of our life. We must reflect, give reverence and glory, and show people how we glorify and magnify. And one of the outward appearances is how to glorify the Holy Spirit and the Creator is wearing your fez, wearing your turban, speaking with truth, not arguing with no one. That's some of the things of reflection and reverence and giving glory. So I just wanted to give that little introduction, and I just wanted to minister to people because I am a minister and a teacher as well. And my ministry saved me. I'm going to be honest. When my baby brother, Akil Jelani Goodman, was murdered off this face of the earth, I was in Flint, Michigan. Man, I was in shambles. Like I was on the brink of either murdering someone, I'm just being honest, or someone murdering me. I was the Grand Reaper, ready. At one drop of a hat, I was ready to seek and destroy. I didn't trust brothers that looked like me because the person that killed my brother, I knew who that person was. I knew a lot of his family. And then that person was cool with the lady that I was dating at that time. It just destroyed me. But then I had to understand who my little brother was as well. My baby brother had just got out of prison. He didn't understand what was going on in life. But me and my brother looked like twins. They used to call me and my brother twins. And so after my brother, was murdered, I ran across people. When my brother was murdered, I was 29 years old. I was 29. And it shook me up. It shook our family up because we didn't think this would happen to the Goodmans and how the position my dad and mom held in our community. My mother had daycares in the community, hired all the girls in our neighborhood. My dad was an executive director, a mentor to all the gangsters in the hood, all the so-called gangsters in the hood. My homeboy Marlonville, that's gone. Peace be among them. My homeboy Mikeville, a lot of gangsters in the hood. My dad mentored them and tried to help those brothers. And that's why my dad is who he is now. And so that hurt me. I went into a shell and I was questioning the Creator. I was questioning God like, wait a minute. I'm like, it ain't no God. Like, this ain't real. Why? Because I'm like, you let my brother get killed. Man, God, the Holy Spirit started convicting me, started showing me stuff, started keeping me up late at night. Man, I used to walk and he used to show me things. People used to see me and be like, man, did you know this, and that, and the other? And a lot of stuff I don't remember. But I had a halo over my head where the Creator was telling me, you don't question what I do. You don't question what I do because all our life is written. Everything that happened with me was written. I was questioning the Creator, like, why you didn't take me? Because I done so many things where my life should have been taken a long time ago, and he didn't take my life. I done so many things that I'm not proud of, that I'll never talk about. When I was 13, 14, I had my brother ID. I used to go in Flint, Michigan. It was a club called Beavers. Here it is. I'm 13, 14 years old, hanging with the older people. I'm on pictures. If I show y'all pictures of me, I'm 13, 14 with all my older brothers in the Beavers, downtown at the Copa. Me, I'm young driving cars. I don't glorify that. I don't put pictures on there to try to get no street cred, because that's nothing. The cred that I get is look who I am today. That's how I'm able to reach people. When I say, man, the cred don't care about that. Look at you now. And so I didn't trust men. I didn't like misnomer black men. I looked at every black man as my enemy. Everyone. I did not like them. But as I began to minister to myself, as I started to just go to churches, go to the synagogues, and not worry about the word or what name they use to give glory to the Creator told me, just jump in it and I'll show you the way. This is my story. And I did that. I did exactly what the Creator told me. He said, don't worry about what nobody calling it. He said, you jump in the midst of it. You get in the game and I'll figure it out for you. And the Creator figured it out all for me. He figured it out all for me. I was the assistant minister of 2 churches in the city of Flint. I ministered fire. I was the assistant minister of Mount Olive Baptist Church and St. Paul. Every time I spoke fire and passion. Everything that I spoke came from my heart. I had so many kids under me, following me. And then when I moved to Arizona and started my own ministry, I used my own dollars. I rented a charter school, had all different type of people. I used to take a lot of kids, 100 kids, to the Phoenix Suns games, to the Arizona Cardinals football games. You can look it up on my YouTube page. I did so much ministry. I used to go to schools to just adopt schools and minister to those people. I'm part of West Valley Health Summit. I deal with women in shelters. All that philanthropy that I do. I go back to the city of Flint every summer and I give away 100 backpacks full of supplies. I don't want the news to come and put it on notice. I've been doing that for over 5 years out of my own pocket because I have my own nonprofit organization out of my own pocket. Been doing it for years. And when the flesh goes, there's going to be a plethora of ladies and children and people that's in college. And I was like, man, this man helped me. This man actually drove to my college. This man bought me a laptop. This man came to the prison when I was locked up on his own dime, on his own time out his day. Ain't nobody paying him. Ain't nobody sending him there. This man doing this on his own time. This man is coming to my neighborhood in the hoods, paying consumer bills, showing people how to get those services, dealing with the seniors, helping them. I've done this out of my own pocket because I love it. And so that's enough about me and a little bit of my background. Now I just want to give this little demonstration on the supreme mathematics and why we behind, because we don't take these ancient teachings and teach our children. When I talk about the 9 to the 9th power of 9, when I talk about supreme mathematics, when I talk about that African Maat magic, I want to talk about this for a minute. I want to give you a little wisdom because a lot of our brothers and sisters, they don't like education. They don't like wisdom. But if you a street hustler, man, that means you like numbers. That means you are an entrepreneur. That means you are an accountant. That means you know about supply and demand. That means you know about percentages. That means you know how to use your money to make a profit. Look at all those positive attributes I took out of something negative. And if we just change that focus and bring brothers together, because I'll never tell a man to stop doing something if I don't have nothing to replace that. I have something to replace that negative energy. I have something to replace that negative energy. Absolutely, D. Taylor. Margins as well. So in chemistry, activation energy is defined as the energy that must be overcome in the order for a chemical reaction to occur. A chemical reaction is a process that leads to the transformation of one set of chemical substances to another. When I teach this to kids, that a lot of these public schools saying these kids failing, and they say, how did you teach them this? Because I use them. When kids say they don't like macroeconomics and microeconomics, I say, do you like big money and little money? Yep. Well, that's micro and macroeconomics. And then when I break it down, they be like, damn. I say, you don't like chemistry? Then when I start breaking down anatomy and their body, they be like, well, I do. I know you do. If you like yourself and you like and understand the value of a dollar, this is very simple. It's my teaching style because I know how to teach our children. Chemical reactions can be either spontaneous, requiring no input of energy, or non-spontaneous, requiring the input of some form of energy. Think about it. A chemical weapon is the use of chemical substances, material with specific properties that can cause disturbances to organisms, usually by chemical reaction, when a sufficient quantity is absorbed by an organism. The symbol, this symbol right here, this symbol right here, this symbol right here, because signs and symbols mean things. A lot of symbols where we don't understand, it talks about something. It talks about energy. We're talking about chemical weapons, material with specific properties that can cause disturbances to organisms, usually by chemical reaction, when a sufficient quantity is absorbed by an organism. So that symbol that I showed y'all of a warning symbol, just like when you look at some poison and they say poison on it, only way you can be tricked is someone to take that bottle with poison on it and pour something good in it, or they say, or take that poison bottle and replace it and trick you. A chemical weapon. And in order for the human brain to understand and comprehend information or input received, chemical reactions take place in the brain that transform the information into a form that is able to be comprehended and usable. That's why I talk about applied mathematics. But brothers and sisters say they don't like math. That's sad to say, and we are math. I'm going to break it down. The energy that must be overcome before the chemical reaction of comprehension and understanding can take place is mental activation energy. Mental activation energy. And in this science and in this demonstration of mathematics, which is the subject that is not easily or readily understood or comprehended by the average people, especially our misnomer Negro, blacks, and colors, especially our babies. Especially our babies. But the subject of mathematics is extremely important when it comes to science, engineering, problem solving, architecture, invention, innovation, and creation. Therefore, African creation energy, modified version of the chemical weapon, that warning symbol that I showed, it appears as a sign to signify that the information contained in this demonstration is intended to be a metaphorical chemical weapon. Your brain is a chemical weapon. Stay with me. Why? Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh. So we're talking about something that's in your mind. Stay with me. And it's to efficiently present information and transmit motivational energy, which should serve as a mental activation energy to encourage the mental chemical reaction processes of understanding and comprehending of the subject of mathematics in the mind of the misnomer African people or our Moorish people or anyone that want to be a student of mine, which can then be used to create whatever is needed or desired. I'm telling you, when I talk about that sexual energy, I'm not here to toot my horn, but I bet you any woman that come around me, if they around me for a minute and they see how I live and they see how I tend to them and they see how I put them first and I cater to my woman, what woman wouldn't want to be with a God man like myself? I don't care what race you are. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm here to use your brain and resurrect my people. Like right now, I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking at my GCU log. I got like 18 response. One of the students on GCU campus said, "Sheik, we love you. And I love y'all too." He's like, "You've been educating us." And they said, "Don't y'all know the majority of the people on college campus is Europeans? And he's our teacher." And right now, I look, every one of these students donated $25. I got 18 students on here. Every time I speak, they donate. No, I'm a Capricorn, brother. I'm a Capricorn. And here it is. I got all my medias up. I got my GCU login. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and on my Facebook page with my people from Flint, Michigan. I'm not here to argue with my brothers and sisters. I would never do that. I'm not here to disrespect people that look like me or people that don't look like me. That's not my mission. It's so much going over in the world. I'm January 19th, brother. I'm January 19th. There's so much going over the world that separate us with fraternities and religion. I'm a Hebrew, black this, black Masons, Christians, even the radical Moors, all this stuff. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to show us that we have more in common and to build the nation and to show us how we can use our tax dollars that we willingly give away. I'm an educator. I have a full library. I have real companies. I got more Europeans that wear the fez than my own people. Just this year alone, I put 215 fezes on men, women, and children. So let's get back to the subject at hand. What is mathematics? Mathematics is an intellectual and scientific tool created and invented by African people for the purpose of systematically studying, learning, and comprehending nature. And since mathematics is the intellectual tool used for studying nature, what you say, you could be doing anything else, but you're on here teaching. Gratitude. And you know what, brother? And that's funny you said that, because that's what my professor just said. He was like, you giving glory, because I don't make money doing this. I have my members of my temple in school. I don't make a lot of money with that. A lot of my members make way more money than me on my worldly job, but I do over 10 things to bring income in. Like I'm a tutor, I'm a behavioral health licensed therapist, I'm a marriage counselor, I read contracts, I have my own companies, I have a dealer's license, I own land. And so I have to do a plethora of things to live a certain life. So when I jump on here, I don't just say, pay me, pay me, pay me. I ask for a donation and I will give you more than what you give me. And I can give you a taxes and receipt. So I love what I'm doing. This is part of my charitable work. Because when I speak in ministries, when I go to churches and things, they already put donations for me. When I go on a college campus and lecture to the college kids in the student union and the doctoral library, they already put money together for me. And then after I speak, I go through my book list. A lot of times I go through 1,100 books and I let those college students get them for $5. And I walk out of there, not just the donations that they give me, but 1,100 times 5 equal $5,500. You said, when did you pursue your licenses and degrees? I'm 23 and people tell me, ooh, I don't hate to get off subject, Noble, you at the right age. You 23. My brother was murdered. I'm from Flint, Michigan. My brother was murdered at 29. I worked for my dad because my dad was executive director of Genesee County. I worked for my dad in the state. My dad owned a lot of real estate in the city of Flint. So I worked for my dad. I went back and got my degrees way later in life. And you only 23, that's shame on somebody to say that's too late. And you are a young man, you still a babe. When a lot of men are 23, we don't know who we are at that age. That's why a lot of people, I tell brothers, who's your mentor? Who's your mentor? Who are you dealing with? I'm an elder. I'm getting ready to be 48 years young on my birthday. I run 10 miles a day. I work out every single day. I study every single day. I read every single day, not one day, 7 days a week. So you only 23, young brother. It ain't never too late. It ain't never too, only time it's too late is when the flesh gone. That's when you should be worried about it's too late. But you're never too young or too old to learn, brother. We're supposed to continue to learn no matter what, because the glory of a young man is his strength, but the wisdom of an older man is the gray on his hair and on his beard. Anybody in your family or around you that's telling you you too old, you need to get away from them. That means they're jealous of you, young brother. And it's a light that's shining in you, and they want your light to flicker. They don't want you to be great. I want you to be great. I want you to aspire to what I do and even more. I want to show you that you can do exactly what I'm doing and even more. If you have those around you to motivate you, to give you the power, to give you the understanding and the tools to do it. Because the only reason why we don't accomplish things is because we don't have the tools. And when we want to accomplish some things, some of our family and friends and our parents may not have completed those endeavors, so they don't want to help you and they don't know how to help you. But you dealing with me, I do. I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in marketing and sales. I have a dual master's degree. You know, I have a master's degree. I'm finishing my junior doctor's degree in Indigenous People Law and Policy. In one more year, I have my PhD. In one more year, I've been taking my time with it because it's strenuous. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of paperwork. And you go through a lot being a melanated brother when you accomplishing these degrees. I went through so much stuff getting my dual master's degree. Went through so much stuff, you know, went through so much backlash of professors saying they don't like my candor. I had to write the chairs of the divisions to make sure that no one try to judge me based off their personal religion. So, brother, you in the right place. You in the right place because I can help you get to where you want to be and beyond. So let's proceed. But there is a field of mathematics that corresponds to every aspect of nature. In the broadest sense, nature consists of space, vacuum, matter, energy, and time, existence. And the field of mathematics called arithmetic deals with basic counting or quantifying things found in nature with similar qualities. Algebra, it studies the formulas and equations of nature. Geometry and trigonometry, it studies the space, shapes, and forms of nature. Calculus studies the changes over time in nature. Even the mental faculties of humans are studied in the fields such as mathematical logic, using binary algebra, which studies logic and reason, and statistics, which studies speculation and probability, aka belief. When a lot of people in college, they take stats and they fail it, and they fail. But I love this. I love statistics. I love all forms of mathematics. I know how to use my compass and my square to circumscribe the world. Formal definitions of mathematics state that mathematics is the scientific and systematic treatment and study of quantity, magnitude, multitude, form, structure, space, and change, using symbolic objects to discover patterns, find solutions, determine conclusions, and establish truth, using rigorous deductive reasoning. The etymology or the etymon of the word mathematics come from the Greek word mathema. Mathema, meaning to learn or to think, to have one's mind aroused, aka having an erection of the mind per se, getting hard per se, rising up per se, to be wise, wide awake, and lively, and the suffix, the tic, shortened version of the Greek word technique, tekhne, as in technique. In the word mathematics means system, process, method, art, or craft. Thus, the etymological sense of the word mathematics is the art of thinking, systematic learning, or thought process. And modern scientists classify mathematics as a formal science, brothers and sisters, to distinguish it from other fields of science called natural science, physics, chemistry, biology. And because the natural science rely on what? Experimentation evidence and the scientific method to arrive at scientific results and conclusions, whereas mathematicians like myself and others use definitions, abstractions, logic, and reason as the basis of mathematical proofs, of concepts and conclusions. So the four basic steps to the scientific method is one, you should be able to observe, observation. Then next, do a hypothesis. Then you should be able to test it. And then four, you should be able to come up with a conclusion based off the facts. While the four basic steps to the mathematical method is one, comparison or comprehension, meaning how do you comprehend what I'm telling you? Then analyzing it, which is analysis. Then you must understand what synthesis is. And then off of all those basic structures, you must come to a conclusion. So the mental ideas, the concepts, the symbols, and the abstractions that form the basis of mathematics are called mathematical objects. You and I are a mathematical object, and mathematical objects are used to mold and model and represent various observed aspects in reality and the world today, even this natural world. And examples of some modern mathematical objects includes numbers, functions, formulas, equations, groups, sets, graphs, matrix, points, lines, triangles, circles, square. I'm gonna break some science down when a lot of these Negroes, no disrespect, say you can't put a circle in a square. Yesterday, I just told you about the hex alpha and then my Fez. They both 360 degrees if you know how to use your compass and your square. And I'm gonna break that down. Watch, very simple. So you should never listen to someone that say you can't put a circle in a square. They don't know how to use their compass. This is mathematics. They don't know the words that are coming out of my mouth. Points, lines, triangles, circles, squares, cubes, mathematic objects exist as concepts and do not exist in reality. However, brothers and sisters, mathematics objects provide a way for us, the human mind, to comprehend, to explain, and to model reality. Proper understanding of this point enables the student, enables the observer to distinguish what exists as a concept and what exists in reality. For example, an analogy. It cannot be proven that the number 2 exists in reality. Think about what I'm saying. Use your hippocampus and use reason. For example, it cannot be proven that the number 2 exists in reality, brothers and sisters. However, it can be proven that based on the definition of what the number 2 represents, examples can be found in reality that correspond to what the number 2 represents by definition. By definition. Of course, I know what quantum physics is. I did a whole dissertation on quantum physics. I got a whole book on quantum physics that I did in college. I wrote a whole book on astrophysics. I was able to cross study. I can put you in position of quantum physics. I have whole dissertations that I did at GCU in quantum physics. That's a part of this mathematics that I speak on. That's why I said if a lot of stuff that people ask me, if they look at my lectures and if they go back out of the plethora of lectures that I've done, I done lectured on quantum physics. I give books on quantum physics. I have students that go to GCU that's dealing with quantum physics, and I lecture in their department. I give them books so they don't have to waste their money in academia when the professors have them use up their financial aid money and a professor only use a couple chapters. They get the books from me because I have a full library and I give it to them for pennies. And their students, they take it as a co-op. And so the same is true for mathematical objects. The same is true for mathematical objects. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd he say? I'm sorry. I'm getting an email from one of my students. What you say, brother? I apologize, y'all. I'm doing a couple of things that I'm trying to multitask. So forgive me right now. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I just had to respond back to a student. He was asking me about a book for class. But yeah, brother, when you study quantum physics, it's the study of matter and energy at the most fundamental level, at the most fundamental level. And it aims to uncover the properties and behaviors of the very building blocks of nature, while many quantum experiments examine very small objects, such as electrons and photons. Quantum phenomena are all around us, acting on every scale, young brother. And that's just a little tittle of it, you know. That's just a little tittle of it. We may not be able to detect them easily in large objects. This may give the wrong impression that quantum phenomena are bizarre or otherworldly. But in fact, quantum science closes gaps in our knowledge of physics to give us a more complete picture of our everyday lives. I just wanted to give you that little tittle of wisdom as I proceed. Thus, the best and most efficient mathematical objects are those concepts and ideas who symbolize closely correspond to the real phenomena that they intend to represent. You know, just like when I talk about origins of quantum physics, and the field of quantum physics been around forever, giving rise to devices such as lasers, transistors, and enabling real progress on technological, once considered purely speculative, such as quantum computers. Physicists are exploring the potential of quantum science to transform our view of gravity and in connection to space and time. So it's so much to deal with that. And the mental progress of conceptually, figuratively, and symbolically and systematically depicting, portraying, and displaying real natural phenomena for the purpose of learning, comprehending, applying, and manipulating nature. It began with the earliest humans in Africa. And so some examples of the earliest African mathematical objects include many of the gods and goddess, like they say with a P, Pa, but a lot of times the P is silent. So you got the PTAH, you got the RE, you got Tahuti, you got Maat, you got Hika, and their associated signs and symbols. And so I'll show you some of the signs and symbols. Now you got to remember, computer's not the future, you the future. Because everything that computer knows, you input it. So you are the future, young man. Computing is not the future. Your mind is the future. Your brain is the computer. The computer is nothing but a system. Remember what I just said about this system and about speculative and science. A computer is nothing without your input. You must input the information in, and then the computer spits out the answers based off what you put in. So you are the future, Noble. You are the future. You are computing. Your mind is computing. All this what you're looking at is the same thing. If you look at it, everything you're looking at is 9. Everything that you see. So you are the future. Your mind is the future. A computer is nothing but a system. And without you, young brother, a computer can do no good because you have to program the computer. You have to program everything that the computer learns. Anything that when a person get a computer, somebody input all that information in the computer. The computer didn't input itself. Man did that. That's why we are created with all these abilities. We must tap into it. And a lot of our brothers and sisters is just not in the tapping into the power of the brain. So I'm showing you examples of modern mathematical objects on one side with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This right here, all this. And then this right here is examples of African mathematical objects. Okay, you can see that clearly. You can see that clearly with your eyes. You can see that clearly with your eyes, brothers and sisters. You can see that clearly with your eyes. Whoa, where did I? Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. I got so much going on today, man. It's Friday. It's our holy day. My phone is blowing up. But mathematics is the science that can be found in all fields of science. That's why mathematics is the science in science. Mathematics is the science in science. Mathematics is the science in science. It is the combination of mathematics based on logic and reasoning with natural sciences based on the evidence and the scientific method that enables correct and accurate descriptions, comprehension, explanation of nature and reality, mathematical models that accurately describe the evidence experienced in natural science faculties, the ability to model, replicate, recreate the various observed natural phenomena. Mathematical knowledge cannot be applied in reality without studying the natural sciences. And conversely, the knowledge obtained using evidence and experience in the natural sciences cannot be applied without mathematics. And the purpose of any type of knowledge is to do what? Use it and apply it. So how can I say I have the key and I say it's secret and I don't share it willingly? I don't have a problem asking my people for donations because college professors get paid swell to do what I do. I've been my movies. I can show y'all so many of letters that I done got offered from universities contingent on me shutting everything down on my YouTube page because they said the stuff that I'm giving y'all, they want you to go in debt for it. And I give this to people for small donations. And then when you become a member of my temple and school and you don't mind giving donations monthly, you get all this. And so when you want to go and get a college degree, when you want to go get those worldly degrees, I'm your mentor. I'm gonna be right there holding your hand because I have the degrees. You know, it is the union of evidence and experience from the natural science with the logic and reason from mathematics that makes it possible to use and apply any knowledge obtained for survival and well-being. Mathematics is a mental process of finding and figuring out things. That's why when a lot of my nobles go through things and I say, don't you like mathematics? Well, you got to figure it out. Let's break yourself down in small molecules and let's turn our life into a mathematical equation. Why did I tear my car up? It's some reasons. Was I drunk and high? Was I sleepy? Do I know how to drive? It's a reason. Nothing happens osmosisly. Mathematics is the mental process of finding the answer to a question or the solution to a problem. We call it cause and effect to make it easy. What's the cause of me going through this? And what's the effect of this cause? What's the outcome? Mathematics is the solution form of reason or solution reason we call in mathematics. And it's the mind concentrating upon finding the answer to a question of the solution to a problem. Like when I deal with a lot of people, I say, if you save $100 each month, at the end of the 12 months, how much would you have? 1,200. And then I ask everybody, can you do that? Yeah. And then at the end of the year, nobody have it. And then they'd be like, oh, I'd be like, my number's right. You didn't hold honorable to what the hell you said you was going to do. You party and BS all your money up. And you don't know how to live under your means because most Negroes live way above their means. Most Negroes live way above their means. Yep, the Hermetic principle, aka the Kemetic principle. I broke that down in one of my books. Where's my book? Because I gathered and compiled 11 books. Not in my interpretation. Where's the book that I gathered and compiled? I think it's in my Sufism. I broke down the Kemetic principle. A lot of time it's connotated Hermetic, but it's the Kemetic principles. I just lectured it the other day, as I just educated a lot of people that when I talk about stolen legacy, that Greek history or Greek philosophy is stolen Egyptian philosophy. And the Hermetic is the Kemetic. It's no disrespect. These are things that I did on college campus, and it get us people to think different outside of where it all comes from, the source. I deal with the source of the matter. So no disrespect when we say Hermetic, but it's the Kemetic principles. That's where it comes from. Finding the answer to a question or the solution to a problem. Mathematics as the solution form of reason is naturally solvent, capable of solving all problems. You said, how can all be mental when we have quantum physics? Well, that's a question. You answered your question. The question that you asked, the answer is in the question that you asked. As a teacher, that's how I teach. I don't give a person an answer all the time. Just like Nas wrote a song, we are the question and the answer. So a lot of times I have a person think, and a lot of times the answer being a question. A lot of times the answer being a question. That's why I don't answer questions so much. I'll help a lot of people answer their own question and be like, I answer my own question. Yes. Because if I tell a person everything, then a person never done the work. It don't mean nothing to you. It don't have no value if I give, and a person put no work in. It takes some study and some application. But good question, young brother. Good question. The ability to replicate, model, manipulate, and control various aspects of nature using mathematics was known to the earliest Africans as Hika. Hika as a concept was used to represent the manipulation of elements of nature. But thank you for the donation, fam. Peace and love. Hika is often defined as magic. Magic is defined as a practice of producing a desired effect or result by techniques that enable humans to control forces of nature. to control forces of nature. In modern terms, Hika and magic would be called engineering, will be called engineering, will be called engineering. Engineering is defined as the process of acquiring and applying scientific and mathematical knowledge to design and develop inventions that realize a desired objective. So when I'm lecturing, just like I ask a lot of our people never been to lectures. And so a lot of time when people just splew off at the mouth, I ask anybody, have you ever been to a lecture? No. And I say, well, when you in a lecture, you must stay in context. And I'm not talking about nobody on here, but I'm just saying context means everything. Context means everything. That's why I tell a lot of people they need to be students, because a lot of people just throw so many questions at you when you're lecturing on a specific topic. And a lot of people just ask you questions. What about this? Well, this and that and the other. And I don't mean no disrespect to you, a 504 spaz out, because I like to stay in context. So a lot of time a person, if I'm lecturing on a specific topic, they'll just throw questions at me and questions at me, questions at me, questions at me, questions at me. And it'd be totally out of context. Peace, fam. And so I would answer a lot of questions, but a lot of times it don't be in context of the specific study and a specific thing that I'm dissecting or that I'm displaying or I'm giving a dissertation on. But I do have Cash App. My Cash App is $KGBay. My Cash App is Cash App $KGBay. And I've gathered and compiled over 20 books that break all this stuff down. A lot of stuff that people ask, if they're willing to get my books, a lot of the questions that a person asks, it'd be right in my books. It'd be right in my literature. So that's why I do things systematic. And I ask everybody, have you ever been to a lecture? Have you ever been to a lecture when a professor's speaking or a person in that field is giving a dissertation on a specific topic? A lot of my people will say no. Most of my members, they never been to lectures until they met me, until they watched me lecture on a college campus. And I say, do you see the, how can I say, the expertise and the professionalism that a lot of the students do? They don't ask things out of context. They don't ask things out of context because I just be lecturing on a specific topic. I can lecture on a plethora of topics, but if I'm lecturing on a specific topic, say if I'm lecturing on how to be an auto mechanic, and then somebody asks me, well, how do you plant a tree? And then all the students that's at the lecture will turn around and look and was like, man, what's wrong with you? This man is in here lecturing on how to be an auto mechanic, and you asking this man how to plant a tree. If you want to go to a lecture about him planting a tree, then ask him, would I speak on planting a tree? Thank you, D. Taylor. Etiquette, absolutely. I was waiting for somebody to give the word. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I never be disrespectful. I talk about doing things systematically. And I ask people when they say, well, I'm a scholar and I'm an educator. Well, do you know etiquette? Do you know etiquette? And context. When I ask a person, do you know what context consists of? And a lot of people take things out of context. And a lot of questions people ask me when I'm lecturing on a specific topic be totally out of context of what I'm speaking on, because our minds be going all out of places. And I try to give reason. I can speak on a plethora of topics if a person is willing to be a student, but I don't want nobody to throw questions at me and questions and think I'm supposed to answer every question. Thank you. And then I say, you didn't do that when you was in school. I asked a person, well, when you was in school, in middle school, in high school, and they was teaching you pseudo academia and all that, you didn't ask them no questions. You ain't have no questions. Yep, yes, sir. You just master. When you go to church and the preacher saying a whole bunch of stuff that's just arbitrary explained, nobody have no questions. They say amen. And it's interesting to note that the etymology of the word engineer come from the word engine, E-N-G-I-N, meaning skill and cleverness. And also the word ingenium, I-N-G-E-N-I-U-M, meaning inborn qualities or talent, and gene, meaning to begot or produce. Given etymology of the word engineer, what you say, D. Taylor, you said, yeah, you have to learn though. And you said, I only know because I've been to college. Gratitude for backing me up on that. Gratitude. And most of our people, a lot of teams, we got to admit that we've never been introduced to these things. We never been to lectures. So when I speak, One, I'm educating, and one, I'm trying to show people how to deal with me. I'm not being disrespectful. I would never be disrespectful to my brothers and sisters, but I do respect some type of etiquette when I'm taking the time to do this for free. And the person just throw questions at me, and I don't even get a chance to go through my dissertation and the definition of the word engineer as someone who practiced hika or magic, the process of acquiring and applying scientific and mathematic knowledge for the purpose of producing a desired effect, which we talk about cause and effect. It implies that the engineering ability is related to genes, genetics, or certain inborn qualities. It is also true that the ancient Africans viewed the ability to practice magic or hika, which is engineering, with certain blood lineages or genetics. Watch, I'm gonna get to the good part in a minute. I'm gonna get to the good part because once I do that, I'll be done. In mathematics, there is a field called pure mathematics, also called speculative mathematics, which is performed mathematics solely for the purpose of displaying eloquent logic and reason, aka we call it ritual, without the intention of ever applying the mathematical concept to the real world. This is opposite of the field of mathematics called, applied mathematics, also called operative mathematics. Applied mathematics is the field of mathematics dedicated to the application and utilization of mathematics in all other sciences and disciplines. And the peculiar reality about pure math or speculative math is that while it may be performed without the intention of being applied, if the mathematical concepts developed are based on rigorous deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning. I'm giving you keywords. I say a pure mathematics, speculative mathematics, applied mathematics, operative mathematics. So if I was your professor and I say these are going to be on a test and I want you to know the meaning of words, when I come back to you, you should have researched all those words up and know how to use them in a sentence and know how to use them in real life. Deductive reasoning. Then an application in the real world for the abstract mathematical concept is usually discovered at a later date. This fact shows that the real world is based on reason. And the danger of pure math is if rigorous deductive reasoning is abandoned, degraded, disregarded, and forgotten while performing this pure math or this speculative mathematic thought processes of any type, then it gives way to what? Creative mental objects that have no application in the real world, that are literally useless and serve the purpose of being only mind-numbing entertainment. And that's what happened with a lot of us when a lot of brothers just be spewing off at the mouth. I say, I don't care if you know how to do all that. Are you using it? When a person jump on here and they be spitting a whole bunch of stuff that they read, and then when I look at your life and I say, all the stuff that you got in your head, you ain't figured out your life yet. You still in shambles, but we so smart. It's the simple things. And pure math or speculative mathematics without rigorous deductive reasoning gives way to the esoteric, the speculative field of numerology. This is a complex learning. Numerology, by definition, is any system or set of ideas, beliefs, or hypotheses about the relationship between numbers and reality. It's nothing wrong or incorrect about forming hypotheses, forming beliefs. However, when conclusions are drawn about hypotheses and beliefs without appropriately testing them using the scientific method, in the case of natural science, when I talk about a lot of our people, they just, how can I say, what's the best word? What's the word I'm trying to talk about? When they use accusations, when a person say, oh, you ain't this, or you don't have no college degree, or you this and that, those are accusations. And I say, you didn't even do your research. We're supposed to be smart. The first thing we're supposed to do is do our research. And if you do your research, which is a part of mathematics, and then you don't have to make up things. Then you don't have to make up things if you do your due diligence per se. But a lot of us, we don't do our due diligence. When a lot of people say, you ain't my sheik, and I say, no shit, Sherlock. My sheik is my members. That's on my YouTube page and on my pages. That when you see our logo, when you see on YouTube and on Facebook, my members is Malik Reed L, Gregory Masso, Alonzo Wright Bay, you know, Empress Isis Bay, my Empress, a lot of my college students, Noble Drayshawn, Noble Alonzo, Noble Dantes. Just like my mama, not your mama. I know that. That's no insult to me. Or without rigorous deductive reasoning in the case of mathematics and the formal sciences, then it leads to inaccurate explanations of reality that cannot be used and applied. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy and effort of the individual who have accepted the inaccurate explanations as truth and have attempted to apply them. It's just like trying to base your understanding on a lie, and instead of correcting yourself, you're going to continue with the lie. You're going to continue with the garbage. And instead of going back and say you might have been sincere, or as a student, you were sincere, but that person giving you the information, they might have been sincere, but they sincerely wrong. And then we don't go back and correct it. We continue to go down that rabbit hole. That shows the aptitude of the student, because the person that's taking you down the rabbit hole know exactly what they're doing, because numerology and numerological consequences and explanations are based on untested things. And you say you 5%, you say I'm 5%, but I respect the Moors. And see, that's what I think. There we go. We keep going off. And that's the problem. I understand about the 5%. I understand about Clarence X. Clarence X within the nation, but why did he lead the nation? And see, when we say we are Moors by birth. Don't have nothing to do with no religion. When I say 5%, that's not a nationality. I get it. I get it. Once again, I'm talking about mathematics. I'm talking about reason. I'm not here to argue with no one religion or what they believe in. When I ask you, what's your nationality? A lot of 5%ers say they black. And I say, is black an adjective? Then I ask them, what's your nationality? What's your race? And what's your status? What's the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? What's the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment? What are manumissions? What are manumissions? Then when I ask a person, I say, well, do you know what the Dred Scott Law was and it was never abolished? No. Do you know what the House Joint Resolution 75 is? Do you know what the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? Do you know that Abraham Lincoln, before he was the president, he was an attorney and he defended the Moore in court because it was illegal to be Negro, black, and color, which it is today. That's the Spencer and Dungy Law. So we should understand everything. Moore is our nationality. It's not a religion. And a lot of us just haven't had a good education because we look at men as gods. A lot of people look at Clarence X as gods. A lot of people look at Noble Drew Ali as a god. A lot of people look at Farrakhan. A lot of people look at Father Divine. A lot of people look at Dr. York as a god. But I deal with the wisdom, and all of them would tell you about this Moorish legacy. All of them would. If they was here in the earth, they'll tell you. But that's what we do. We do the Crips and Bloods thing. No disrespect to you 504 spaz out. That's what we do. We act like gangs, and this is not a game. This is not a game. This fez is our national hairdress. This fez is the Liberty Bell, Leviticus 25:10. And that's what we do. No disrespect to you, but a lot of us, we start opening our mouths saying things because we play Crips and Bloods. A Moor don't mean, your nationality don't mean you can't gravitate to whatever spirituality that you want to. What you say, Noble Malik, all facts. People can look up or come here to learn for pennies. Exactly. And it ain't about you spending money with me, brother. You say, I'm willing to spend money with you, brother, but I asked earlier about services you offer. I do have a lot of questions. It ain't about you spending no money with me. And that's what I tell people, because I do it for free because I love you. It ain't about nobody spending no money with me. But if you got a lot of questions, and no disrespect, if you say you a 5%er, then the question that you have, your teacher should be able to answer all those questions. If I say I'm a 5%er and I have a so-called teacher or a map and a guide, all my questions should be asked by my teacher or my rabbi. And if my rabbi can't answer my questions, then what? If my rabbi can't answer my questions, then I got to go to another house. Just like I say, add value to. If I'm a martial artist and all my sensei know how to do is fight with his hands, but then you meet me and I fight with my hands, my feet, and then we mentally strong and we clean, that means you add to. And that's what I'll be telling my brothers and sisters. But Please stay in context. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. A lot of stuff is poorly tested beliefs. What you say, Empress? Exactly. You say, no, my grandfather told me this, and he was a great bishop. Absolutely. I agree. I agree we should do business with each other, but it ain't about nobody spending money with me, because all money is not good money. Because I do charitable service. I help my people. I don't need nobody to pay me nothing. I get paid swell in life. But it's not about money. And when a person say they ask questions, it should be done in the right way. I'll give you an analogy. When a person get in trouble, in order to talk to an attorney, what you have to do? You have to get somebody on retainer. You will pay money just for them to even ask questions. You can't just spew off and ask people questions. You can't. They'll spew. They'll be like, man, you can't waste my time. And we'll get in trouble. And the first thing we'll do is go get a court-appointed attorney to what? To answer the question that you may have. So I'm not here to argue with none of my brothers or do that. That's the thing. They done separated us with all these different houses of so-called religion. And I'm not here to do that. Thank you, Empress. You said we all have questions. We just have to join each lecture until they're answered. Absolutely. No offense from no one. But like I'm saying, when I'm on here speaking, a person just will throw so much at me. That's why I tell people exactly what you say, Empress. Yes, he told me to go beyond him. And that's what I tell people. Go beyond me. But if a person say they part of a religious house and they have a plethora of answers, that means that teacher is limited. And I won't stop nobody from going on. I'm not a know-it-all. I know all that I know. And I help with people on their journey. I help a person on their journey. I help with people on their journey. That's what I'm telling me. That's what I tell people. I help a person on their journey. I just have a specific aptitude as an educator and a map and a guide. I respect all the laws and the prophets. I respect Clarence X. I respect Dr. York. I respect Noble Ali. I respect Deuce Muhammad Ali. I respect Abdul Muhammad Ali. I respect all those brothers that did some good for us. Sometimes absolute power corrupted people, absolutely. But that ain't my issue. I deal with the good as a mathematician and get rid of the rest. That's my job as a philosopher, as a map and a guide. That's my job as a map and a guide. That's my job. And that's it. That's it. I have no other mission. I'm here to add value to. I'm not here to disrespect no one's religious house. I tell people if they know I'm under the triple rose, I understand all that. I have brothers that's 5%ers. I know about that. I have people that's under Dr. York. I have people that's Nation of Islam. I'm their teacher. I have Hebrew Israelites that listen. I have Christian people that listen. Gratitude, Empress, love you. So I'm going to end right there, man. Next, I'll talk about mathematics from numerology and rigorous deductive reasoning. You know, I want to stop right there. But I'll leave y'all with this. Supreme mathematics. When I talk about alike or different, alike and equal in degree, but different and unequal in area of parameter. That's what a person should get. So when I talk about the circle and the square, so I'm not a good drawer. So let me draw something. Then I'll show you in the book, because I want you to get a little concept. And then we out of here. I'm not a good artist, but I want you to see something. A lot of our brothers and sisters just operate on religion and not as scientists and historical. I just have expertise in all those houses. That's all. I'm not here to convert no one on no religion. That's not my mission. I tell everybody that's not my mission. That's not my mission. I have a clear understanding of all those concepts. I really do. My drawing is not that good, but I'll show you the real picture. I don't know if y'all can see that. When I'm talking about the circle and the square, and then when I show you the mathematical equation at the bottom, I'll show you the mathematical equation at the bottom. then I'll show you the picture. I've done this in academia. So let me show y'all a picture and a mathematical equation. I'll show y'all something. See what you're looking at right now. I'm going to leave y'all with this. So when a person says you can't circle a square, they lying. They don't know how to use their compass and square. I hope you know what you're looking at. You see the circle and you see the square? The circle and the square both have 90 degrees. 90, 90, 90, 90. That's 360 degrees of wisdom. The circle and the square both have 360 degrees of wisdom. 90, 90, 90, 90. 90, 90, 90, 90. The circle and the square, aka the graduation cap, which is the hex alpha, and this fez right here. This 360 degree of wisdom. 90, 90, 90, 90. And then right here is the equation how to do it. Right here is the equation how to do it. Right here is the equation how to get that mathematical equation. Right here. Right here is the mathematical equation to get that answer. To get that answer right here. To get the answer right here. To get the answer right here. I'll read that, then I'm out of here. The theoretical solution to the problem is the construction at the circle with a radius equaling 1, a diameter equaling 2, and a square with length. You know, and that equals 1.77245, where the area of the circle and the square would both be what? 1 pi. The closest whole number approximation that yields a circle and a square with similar areas is a circle with a diameter of what? 9. A radius of what? 4.5 would be approximately 63.6, and the area of the square would be 64. So as I stated earlier, the goal of supreme mathematics is to convey knowledge and information that is usable. That's what I talk about. And so I ended with that. I say a lot of us have wisdom. And I don't deny wisdom. I love to be in all houses of wisdom. But then I like to add on to it, especially with my young brothers. I done been there where a lot of y'all at. I done been through a lot of houses. I'm 48. I'm an elder out here. I may look young because I'm in good health and I take care of my body and I study and I work out a lot and I read mentally. But I don't gravitate to one science where I miss the essence of the rest. And I don't diss any of it neither. I add value to, just like I asked a brother, oh, you know how to multiply. Well, I don't need mathematics no more. Okay, well, if you don't need to use that tool of multiplication and it costs for you to do mathematics, you're going to throw mathematics away? That's messed up. And that's what we do as a people. We act like it's a game. We act like Crips and Bloods. A person to say, instead of them understanding that they are more their nationality and then learn the sciences, learning the Masonic science, the Masonry of it, we say, well, no, man, I'm a god on earth or whatever. And I say, great. And then I ask you, what's your nationality? Then I ask you, what's your race? And then I ask you, what's your status? And the first thing a person say, I'm black, black, black. And black is an adjective. According to science and law, black means death. That's civil mortis. Then when I start breaking down laws and constitution, which every European know, they start laughing at the misnomer Negro because they start talking about what they are based on their religious sect and not based on laws of the Constitution. When I talk about the Dred Scott Law, when I talk about manumissions, when I talk about adjectives, when I talk about historical events, when I talk about the Declaration of Human Rights, when I talk about on the consular courts, not what them sovereign citizens be talking on the internet. The consular courts tell you if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen or if a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, that Moor is going to be judged in the same parameters of that U.S. citizen. Just yesterday, I broke down how all the damn judges in 2012 told you that you was a Moor. And in the mayor's office, they got our Declaration and Proclamation. I can start showing you documents from Bush, the president, that know all this. And that's what we do. Our people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refuse to learn. So once again, man, I love y'all. I give gratitude to everybody. I'm not nobody's enemy on here. Whatever religious house that you under, I give gratitude to you. I love you, but I'm a teacher and I'm a Moor. That everybody loved Malcolm X. Nobody disrespected Malcolm X. When Malcolm X went to Mecca, he came back and got out of that hateful stuff. He got out of that black stuff. He got in that nationality. He got into that nationality, into that understanding of like, wait a minute, this black stuff don't mean nothing. He said, I'm on the wrong mission. I need to be on nationality. I need to be dealing with international law. He figured out blacks don't have no rights. I don't care if we some gods of earth. I don't care if we some black Hebrew Israelites. I don't care if we some black Muslims. I don't care if we some black Masons. I don't care if we some pro-black Negroes. It don't mean nothing because black has no standing in law. When it comes down to who you are. When I break down the SF 181 form, House Joint Resolution 75, Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, manumissions, Reconstruction Law. And before Abraham Lincoln was a president, he was an attorney, and he defended the Moore in court because it was illegal for misnomer black people to own property, to be married. And today, he defended the Moore in court. That's the Spencer and Dungy law. But most of our brothers, we don't understand history and civics. We jump on a religion. And that's the part that's missing from us. What? Our nationality and our divine creed is one nationality, many cultures. And that's the problem with a lot of us. We get so religious and caught up and say, well, I'm this religion, instead of understanding our true nationality and understanding our national name that makes us a nation. And that's what's missing with the misnomer black person. Point blank, period. And it only taken me 20 minutes to break down the laws with a whole bunch of different religious people, and they'll still get up and say, well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, well, I'm a black this and I'm a black that. And a European will laugh at Negroes. Because they were like, they still don't know what you're talking about, brother, pertaining to Constitution law. And the European and the $5 Indians is taking your nationality right today. So that's all I have to say. And I give gratitude. Thank y'all for taking the time out y'all day. Those that gave donations to our temple and school is Cash App $KG Bay. And if you give donations, I will give you books. I will give you literature for you can study on your own. I've gathered and compiled over 20 books, gathered and compiled and divinely prepared that can walk you to this history. I can give you things when a person asks questions, you can read it for yourself. You can read Precedent and Law and Doc Numbers and Free Information Act. You can read the Sundry More Act. You can read all these things pertaining to law. Not no sovereign citizen mess that you hear on the internet that these Moors are getting their head bust wide open because they out here lying to y'all. I deal with facts. And I'm in the red state, which is Arizona, and I'm an educator. I carry myself just like this every day. And most of the people I deal with are not melanated. They're Europeans. And they know exactly what I be talking about because they study us to a T. So with that being said, once again, my email is GOODMANKHARY@gmail.com. My office number is 602-473-8767. I do this every time after I do speakings. I don't know how to type on there. You know? Oh, it's all good, brother. I don't take no disrespect to you. Brother, I love you. But I'm a teacher. I teach in a certain way. Just like if you was taking my class and you asked some questions and you were wrong with it and I could steer you in the right way, that means you want to learn. I don't take nothing as disrespect. Only time I take something as disrespect, if you call me a Negro and say, well, this is right. And I say, well, I don't have no problem with that. So I respect you and I give honor to you, young brother. You should have a lot of questions. We all should have a lot of questions, but it's a way to do things. It's a way to do things in the right way. And if a person want me to ask a lot of questions, do me the same way you do with a court-appointed attorney. A person will be scrambling, trying to pick up money to have a court-appointed attorney make them plead to a lesser charge. They'll do that, but we don't do that with me. We don't have any etiquette. A person just want me to ask a million questions, give me a donation, and I'll answer anything you want. Come to class. I tell everybody after I lecture, I say, please subscribe to our temple and school YouTube page, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Because every Saturday at 10:30 a.m., I have civics and history class. And every Sunday at 2 p.m., I have Sunday school. And on Saturday, when I have civics and history class, I break down civics and history. I just broke down white by law. I just broke down the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. I just broke down manumissions. I just broke down the atrocities and the evil names of Negro, Black, and Colored. I just broke these things down. Is Black an adjective? I just broke all these things down in history. I broke down all these precedent laws. I broke down what the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15 consists of. I broke down what the House Joint Resolution 75 consists of. I broke down what the SF 181 form is. And I'll leave my brothers and sisters with this. If we so smart and if we so knowledgeable, when you get a job and they put that form in front of your face and they say, fill out what your race is, I guarantee you, everybody on here fill out Black, African American, and the blacks from the continent of Africa. But it ain't no blacks from the continent of Africa. That's the SF 181 form. That's the SF 181 form pertaining to nationality. And what do most people that say they this or that, or they say they so smart, they lose by default when somebody put a document in front of your face and they say, fill out everything that pertains to you. And the first thing that misnomer Negroes do, Black or colored or African American, because all those denote to slavery, they fill out Black, African American, the blacks from Africa. And it ain't no blacks from Africa. These is facts. And so when they do, when they fill out the petitions, when they do that every so often and fill out the forms, when you're supposed to fill out for your nationality and everybody, I forget what they call it. Mom is slipping to me. They do it every so often. They do it every, yep, you say they got me. Absolutely, D. Taylor. That's why I love people that's honest. I love honest people because that's the only way I can diagnose a person. A person that come to the doctor and act like they ain't sick or act like they ain't a drunk and they tearing up everything, livers about the shoot, and they say they don't have no problem, then they die. Because you came in not being honest. So I love honest people. We've been lied to by our own people. And our average people, they don't know law, they don't know civics, and they don't know the declarations that pertain to ethnicity. I tell people, Black was not used to describe ethnicity in the first century. Black was only used to describe the black curtain in theater when the curtain come down. I tell everybody, the Willie Lynch, that's fake, but the average Negro think that's real because rapper said it or your professor lied to you about it. But I lectured in college, and those blacks in the African American department can sit on their hands. I showed the European that came up with that fake document. I lectured this already. The Willie Lynch is a lie. If it was a real letter, it'd be in the Library of Congress. It's not one. Even the word's not right because you're dealing with linguistics. And so you're not going to spell things if you're from a certain area the way we spell it today. That should tell you it's all off. And the first time misnomer Black people heard of Willie Lynch was in '95 at the Million Man March. If Farrakhan sat right next to me and I spoke like this, he couldn't get mad. What you gonna say, Farrakhan, you were sincerely wrong? Then you got to what? Correct your wrongs, because there's no Willie Lynch. It wasn't no concept. It's all fake. Just like when we talk about roots and people talk about Alex Haley said that was his ancestor, some Kuta K. Alex Haley lied. He got that from a European named Harold Colander. It's a book called The African. Research what I'm saying. Alex Haley got sued. The European sued him for that. Harold Colander sued Alex Haley for plagiarizing his book called The African. But they give Negroes Negrocentric and Eurocentric propaganda, which is in one of my books. I gathered and compiled a plethora of books. All college kids have my books. That's why I tell my people, I don't wrote the manuals. Eurocentric, I don't wrote the manuals. I lectured all this stuff on college campuses and got a standing ovation. But what happens with Black people? They want to argue with me over something. And I say, I'm not your enemy. Your own people lied to you. These professors with that Eurocentric and Negrocentric propaganda and that pseudo academia lied to you. Because if I was so crazy and didn't know what I was saying, how could I graduate with a dual bachelor's degree? How can I graduate with a dual master's degree? And I showed y'all my degrees yesterday. I showed my degrees up yesterday. I showed it right on live. I showed everybody my dual master's degree in business, and I showed people my dual master's degree in first century history and religion with a minor in linguistics. So I don't just talk about things. I prove my point in scholarship with professors that thought they was heavy. So what's the problem with my brothers and sisters? And I'm your brother, and I know who I am. If the European know that we Moors, what's wrong with us? But we play Crips and Bloods. So I'm not here to argue with nobody. Once again, I'm here to build. I'm here to fulfill. I'm not here to destroy. I love every one of you, no matter what color you are, no matter what your religious background is. That's fine. But us as a people, we should have a common denominator. And then if you have any understanding about spirituality, we all using the same books. How can we come up with a different theory? Because a theory is just like a rear end. How can we come up with a different understanding? How can we come up with a different understanding and we all using the same books? We can't arbitrarily explain things. That means a lot of us are basing things that we don't know. We're not getting the lexicons and see what the words were meant in the etymology, to see what they're meant when they were written. We just take a thing at face value because we like to play Crips and Bloods and we don't love each other. When I say I'm a Moor, that's just my nationality, my spirituality, my race. What is my nationality? What is my race? And what is my status? More science is education. More science, I just broke it down, is reading, math, psychology, astrophysics, astronomy, astrology. All that is more science. History, agriculture, finance, that's more science. Being a Moor is just your nationality. That's it. That's it. And we still don't grasp that because we've been confused about these people on the internet talking about we some Sabras, and that's not it. I'll leave y'all with this, all my Islamic brothers. Go on my YouTube page or just Google Farrakhan, give credit to Noble Drew Ali for bringing this type of Islam to the North American Negro. They know all this. I show y'all documents. I've been showing y'all documents forever what the nation have, but they're not going to tell you the truth because that's not their job to tell you the truth. People be mad when I tell people that the Nation of Islam, especially Farrakhan, he deal with Dianetics. And if they say the white man is the devil, why are you taking some European Ron L. Herbert concept? If the so-called white man is the devil per se, that supreme wisdom lessons of Far Muhammad to the North American Negro, that little red book, I dissect that. If you're going to deal with numbers and say things as truth and then try to say, well, that's just what we believe, then you're not telling the truth. Especially when it comes to math, especially when it comes to parameters and all that, when you can be proven a lie. And I deal with people that don't have a dog in a fight. I can deal with a judge, a person that say, okay, give me your facts. And then a person won't even show up because they don't know what they're talking about. They've just been told some things. So once again, I give you all gratitude. I give you all love. And he said, you got the Black Law 11th edition, but I'm not sure what to use it for. Nothing. It ain't nothing but a dictionary book. We don't use that in law. A Black Law dictionary is just a term dictionary. You said you got Black Laws 11th edition. You got Black Laws 1 all the way to the end. So we should know that it ain't nothing but a terms. But we've been caught up with YouTube. We've been caught up with all these people that I use the analogy of a living color when the Wayne's brother was locked up and he had that kufi on and he in there using all those big words and these Negroes be on the internet and Black Law dictionary say this while they working poor jobs or while their wife going to work every day and they on welfare. And all these people, this stuff just became popular during COVID with a whole bunch of, and I'm not saying you, Noble, with a whole bunch of uneducated Negroes. Well, I got Black Law that pertain to Black Law dictionary. We don't use that in a court of law. That ain't no precedent in law cases and no doc numbers. That ain't nothing. That ain't no free information act. Those are terms. Those are terms. And if a person get all mad and get they draw in a pinch, they ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I study real law. That's what I tell people. But it'd be a whole bunch of people that pull a whole bunch of Black Law terms and dictionaries and words that don't mean nothing in an arena of law. When I ask you, give me the precedent and doc number. Give me the Free Information Act. Give me the things pertaining to law. Give me precedent in law cases. Can't do it. But a person can spit a whole bunch of dictionary terms like that means something. And they'll be locked up with their Black Law dictionary, just like they are now. And stuff became popular. And I say, man, I'm not here to be popular. I'm not here for nobody don't like me. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm here to be a good teacher and a good lawgiver. I'm not here for nobody to like me. You don't have to like me, but I can help you and I can steer you in the best way. And then after everything is over, you'll be like, man, I don't have to like that brother, but that brother was matter-factual. That brother crossed all his T's and dotted all his I's. I'm not here for that. And it'd be a lot of uneducated brothers that'll run and go get a Black Law dictionary and start reading a whole bunch of dictionary terms. They get on TikTok and all that and reading a whole bunch of terms. Come on, man. I don't have time for that. And when a person say, what do you use black laws? He like, what you gonna use the terms for? They ain't nothing but terms. What is the President of Law case and the doc number and Free Information Act? When I start breaking down the laws, and I don't care about none of them black laws, them Negroes rotting in jail. With them Rise of the Moors rotting in jail. When the brother talking about he's some Moorish consulate general of Morocco, when they sitting in jail right now with court-appointed attorneys while they reading some black law dictionary. If you so smart, why you got a court-appointed attorney? And why you rotting in jail? You should just be expedited back to Morocco. But see, a lot of us get locked up playing the game with the courts. A lot of Negroes that get their ass, excuse my candor, locked up. And a lot of young men have gotten locked up and got murdered and killed, because I know these people real names, and they rotting in jail right now. A lot of them are already federal informants, and y'all don't know that, but they play a game with you. And that's what happened with a lot of young people and even older people. That's gullible. That's gullible, because this stuff was popular when COVID came out. When you got these so-called publication companies talking about they can nationalize you and denationalize you and file this paperwork and all this stuff that's going to make you a paper terrorist, foreign and abroad. My muftis, I wish some of my muftis was on my YouTube channel, because they know I get the list every year of the sovereign citizens that's on the terrorist list, and a whole bunch of these fascist groups are on the terrorist list. I tell people they got a whole federal police a task force that watch videos. How I know? Because I know them out of Arizona. I've met them. They be laughing when they be like, y'all ain't listening to Sheik Goodman Bey. He be trying to help y'all. They know me. A lot of their kids go to GCU. They respect me. They were like, you be trying to help them. All y'all got to do is look at all them videos. Look up facts or fraud. Look at all those videos of these fake sovereign citizens going to prison. And we still on this old shit about some black law dictionary. We still on that. We're going to end up going to jail. So I love y'all once again. No disrespect to no one. No one can nationalize you or denationalize you. It'll change you from the descendant nature of your foremothers and forefathers. I showed y'all a lot of this stuff a plethora of times. If y'all go back and watch my videos and research who I am, just take a little time to research and look at past videos and see what I'm talking about. And then subscribe to my Temple and School YouTube channel, which is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School on YouTube and Facebook. Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. But those that's on my YouTube personal channel, Kari Ibn Hakeem Goodman Bey, just look at the videos and what I'm talking about. Look at all the information that I share. I don't be on here arbitrary explain nothing. I give everybody the facts. So every question that you may be answering on here, I probably already answered it, and I'm 100% sure I already answered it. If you go back and look at videos, because they are titled, all of my videos are titled on my personal YouTube page. And on my Temple and School page, I teach systematically. I teach Adapt class and I teach Sunday school. So on our Temple and School YouTube channel, I'm not just on here lecturing on specific topics. I do Adapt class on Saturday and I do Sunday school on Sunday on our Temple and School page. And on my personal page, this one I give, specific lectures on topics and books and history and civics. So with that being said, once again, I love y'all. Thanks for the donation that y'all gave to Cash App $KG Bey. Anything you need, any books you need, I have a full library. If you give donations, all you got to do is hit me up, Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY @gmail.com, and I'll get with you. My office number is GOODMAN. My office number is 602-473-8767. So once again, I've been going for 2 hours. That's enough. I love y'all, man. I'll probably see y'all later on tonight. Please subscribe to all my pages that I said. Tomorrow we got a Adapt class at 10:30 a.m. AZ time zone. Please subscribe to my Temple and School YouTube channel, because I'm not going to be doing that personal on my personal YouTube page no more. All that is going to be on our Temple and School YouTube page. And I'm only going to use my personal YouTube page to do lectures and to build my following and build people in, so I can talk to y'all specifically, and then y'all can come to the systematic classes on Saturday and Sunday and learn. And then we can ask questions on here as students. But I definitely hope that you have it on your heart whenever you feel like it to give a donation to our Temple and School. I really do. If it's not on your heart right now, I clearly understand. But I love y'all, man. And it's Cash App $ KG Bay. And y'all can hit me up because I respond back. I'm a real person. I love y'all, man. And much peace and love.